Welcome to Rock Talk. I'm your host, Willie.
And I'm your host, Kayla.
Sit back, grab a warm cup of coffee, and please enjoy the video.
Today, we're going to be talking about different granite textures and finishes. Our guest speaker today is going to be Dan.
Welcome, Dan.
Good morning.
Dan, can you please introduce yourself and describe what companies you work for and what you do for those companies?
Yeah, absolutely. My name is Dan Lazinski. I am the design manager at Murphy Granite Carving and Little Falls Granite Works.
Thank you. What we're going to do today is a lot of question and answer on some certain things that Dan has a lot of knowledge about, and that is textures and finishes.
The first texture I want to ask about is rock pitch. I see that a lot on monuments, specifically on the base. Can you tell us a little bit about what rock pitch is?
Yep. What rock pitching is the natural rough surface of the stone. It's typically done with hammer and chisel or maybe an automated process. But there really is no pattern to it, no rhyme or reason. It's just the rough, jagged surface of the stone.
With it being that jagged, is it engravable at all?
No, absolutely not. You can put maybe like a recessed panel into it. That would be an option. But to engrave directly on the rock pitching isn't really an option.
Okay.
What's the most popular finish you guys see?
That would be the polished finish by far. Yeah.
Okay. And how is that done? By hand, automation?
Either way, but mostly automation, just because of the speed and the amount that they need to put out.
Okay. And that is engravable, right?
Yep. Yep.
Okay.
Do you have an example of what polish looks like?
Yeah, I do actually. This piece here, this has different levels or examples of finishes. The top piece is the polish. It is the most reflective, and it's going to show off the natural elements of the stone. It's going to bring a lot of the characteristics of the stone to the surface that you can see, and you can engrave just about any style onto the polished surface.
Okay. What color is that?
This is Gold Star.
Gold Star.
Yep.
Okay. So that halftone below that, what is that? What's the difference between that and the polish? Because I see there's really no shine to the halftone.
Yep, the halftone here, it's basically, it's one step below polish as far as the procedure goes. So when a stone is getting cut, sawn, polished, all the way through the process, this is the step right before polish. So it's just one less step of buffers. It's a smooth surface. It's not going to be reflective, and it kind of hides some of the stone, but it's still a smooth, engravable surface.
Oh, it is engravable?
Yep, it is.
Okay.
Okay.
Is there different engraving options that are better for halftone?
If you're doing halftone, typically the only engraving options available are the what we call the double process or the traditional, the deep carving. Laser, dot process, precision graphic carving isn't going to work at all on this surface here.
Okay.
Okay. So then if we continue to go down, this thermal finish, what's that?
Thermal finish is something you don't see too often, but it is still a little popular one. Where you're going to see thermal finishes is almost always veterans pavers or a walkway. Thermal finish is, again, a smooth surface. You can engrave on it, and it's going to, because of the rough surface, it's going to allow some texture or some gripping. So you won't slip on it if you're walking like a polished surface.
Makes sense.
Okay.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
And I should mention the way the thermal finish is done, because it is smooth and it's rough at the same time. It's actually heated. It can be hand or automation by a torch, and it actually kind of pops the stone, and that's why it's called thermal finish. It actually is made with thermal heat.
Okay.
So they actually go over with a torch over a surface like this, and that's what gets it to pop.
Yep, that's correct.
And then certain places stay and certain places pop.
Yep.
Interesting. And then the white sanded below that.
The white sanded is kind of like a hone finish.
It's almost like a frosted look it kind of has.
Almost a frosted look, yep. Here's a frosted look with the highlight on it.
Uh-huh. Okay.
So the sanded finish, basically if you would picture the polished surface here and you took a sandblaster to it real quickly, you blast it off the polish, you're left with the sanded surface.
So if you had like a custom cross monument, a very good thing to do to make it stand out would make the cross like a sanded finish on a polished front.
Yep, absolutely. That's going to give you your
Okay.
best contrast in there.
Okay.
Okay.
Yep.
Very interesting. Do you have any other questions for Dan?
No?
No.
Well, thank you, Dan. That was very helpful.
Oh, you're welcome.
Thanks a lot.
It's a pleasure to be on the show.
Thank you. Thank you. Have a great day.
Thank you, too.
Thanks for watching this episode of Rock Talk.
I hope you learned something new. Cheers.